right. Everyone, we're going to begin in mountain pose, and I'm just going to turn to face you, but you'll be facing the top of your mat, okay? So, mountain pose to start. This is how we start and end the moon salutation sequence. The next posture is standing crescent moon to the right. So we're going to go through the postures all on the right side, and then we'll transition to the left. So with your inhale breath, take your arms up overhead. We're going to interlace the fingers and reach up and over to the right. So remember, I'm not mirroring you. I am doing the same side that you're doing. Okay, so we stay here for a breath, but as always, we're going to start slow and kind of break it down. So in Duladasana, standing crescent moon. Now from here, we're going to step the right foot out nice and wide, finding goddess pose. All right, so right foot steps out, goddess pose. Your knees are bent, your knees are pressing outward, and your hands can be in a mudra or to your hips, whatever you prefer here. Okay, our next move is star pose. So we're going to turn the toes forward, heels come out, and arms come up overhead, star pose, palms and toes facing the same direction. The next posture is triangle pose on our right side. So turn your right toes towards the back of the mat, arms come out to a T, hips go towards the left foot or the front of the mat as we reach the arms and then tilt them into our triangle pose. Now for triangle, you want your arms in one long line. Bottom hand can rest on the shin or press to the inside of your right calf. All right, now from triangle pose, pyramid pose to the back of the mat. So the way that we're gonna set this up is your back left foot is going to step up and in. Now we're facing the full back of the mat. Hips are parallel, meaning pull your right hip back, press your left hip forward, okay? And then from here, hinge forward until your hands touch down. If your hands are not touching down, grab something available to you, whatever is available to you, and just place your palms on front of, on that prop instead, all right? So stay in your pyramid pose for a breath. And then the next transition is into a low lunge. So all we're gonna do for this is plant the palms to frame your front right foot, step your left foot back, bend your right knee, low lunge. All right, so like I'm telling you, that fancy footwork is coming into play here. From our low lunge, we're going to move into Skandasana, side lunge. So we're gonna pivot all 10 toes now to face the long edge of the mat. Your right knee is bent, and you can do a half lunge here, staying up high, or you can come all the way down to your low Skandasana where your seat is relaxing on your right heel. Okay, so Skandasana. Now here comes the pose that links right side to left, Malasana. So you're going to plant your right heel and then step your left foot in to set up for your yogi squat, Malasana. And here is, again, like I said, this is the midpoint. So we're halfway through the moon salutation sequence as we prepare now to reverse engineer everything we just did on the right side, now on the left side. All right, so the way that we started is we're going to now keep the left foot where it is and extend your right leg long for either half Skandasana, half side lunge, or full Skandasana, where your seat is to your left heel. Good. Okay, so from our Skandasana, we're going to pivot now to face the front of the mat for our low lunge, side 2. So now it's my left foot between my hands. My back right heel is lifted, low lunge. All right. Pyramid pose is up next. So I'm going to bump my back right foot up and in. Both legs are straight, or you can micro bend your front knee. And same thing. So let's get a halfway lift to start. Square your hips, right hip forward, left hip back. And then you can stay at your halfway point. You can bring your hands or your peace sign fingers down to the ground, or again, improvise, grab whatever's around you and use that prop to bring the floor up to meet you wherever you are. Okay, from our pyramid pose, our next pose is triangle. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to step the right foot back. We want that line from our front heel to the center arch of our back foot. front leg straightens, and then right arm lifts, triangle pose. For triangle, just so you know, I love the variation of my bottom hand to shin. What this does is it gives me a lift out of my torso, so I'm not crunching, right? I'm not compressing, I'm lifting. So try that for yourself, good. And then the next pose is star pose from here. So lift your torso up, palms overhead, left toes face forward. Here we are. Inhale, lengthen, grow tall. Exhale, heels in, bend your knees, come back into goddess pose. Great work. Okay, staying here for a breath. And then we're going to close it up. We've got one more pose before we end in mountain pose. And this is Induladasana standing crescent moon. So we're going to straighten the legs to start, hands to hips. Toes all face forward, and then we're gonna step, it's okay, thank you. It's okay. Here comes Paulo. And then we're gonna step the right foot to meet the left, and we're gonna come into Induladasana standing crescent moon. So we're gonna take the arms up overhead, arms reach left, good. And then we inhale through center, and we exhale hands through heart, down by our sides, mountain pose. Deep breath in and out. And that was a very slowed down, dissected moon salutation flow. All right. So if we're all good, we're going to go through it in more now of a one breath to one motion, but don't worry, we'll go slow because I know that was a lot. All right, here we go. You're doing awesome. I'm going to stay facing you. Again, you can face the front of the mat, and I'm not mirroring you. We're doing the same side. Look how cute Paulo is. Okay, here we go. Inhale, arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, release your index fingers. Exhale up and over to the right. Induladasana, standing crescent moon. Good. Goddess pose is our transition. So we're going to inhale through center, step your feet out wide, and come down into your goddess pose. Nice. With your inhale, star pose, legs straight, toes forward, arms up overhead, palms facing forward. And as you're ready, triangle pose towards the back of the mat. So your right toes face the back of the mat, left arm lifts high, inhale here. And then with your exhale, we're gonna pivot into pyramid. So my back left foot bumps out and up. My hips are squared towards the back of the mat. I'm gonna lengthen my inhale, and I'm gonna hinge forward with my exhale using my dog as my prop today. Good. With your next breath, we find our low lunge. So we're going to bend the front left knee. We're going to extend the left leg long, staying high on the ball of the left foot, low lunge. Good. Our next pose from here is Skandasana towards the front. So we're going to pivot all the way towards the front, and we're going to take a half or a full Skandasana. Good. Paul is now a fixture of my yoga mat. That's okay, buddy. Okay, with our next breath, we're going to move into Malasana, Yogi squat. So bring your left foot in, sink down nice and low. Good. Stay here for a breath. Deep inhale, exhale here. Ha. Okay. Left side, reverse engineer. Left foot remains where it is. Right leg extends long. Again, you can be in full Skandasana, or you can stay up high in your half Skandasana. Good. As you're ready, we're going to transition to the front of the mat now for our low lunge side 2. Low lunge, good. And then as you're ready, we're going to bump our back right foot up and in for our pyramid stretch. Lengthen your spine, inhale, and exhale, stay where you are or hinge forward. Good. Okay, rearrange your back right foot for triangle pose next. Extending. Right arm reaching, lifting, engage your core, and we'll use our inhale to come all the way up to star pose. Good. And then from our star, we'll bend the knees, goddess pose. All right, here comes our funky transition to standing side bend in Induladasana. We're going to straighten the arms, toes face forward, step your right foot to meet the left, reach up and over to the left, and change. Come up through center. Exhale, hands through heart or hands down by your sides. Moon salutations. Okay, you're doing awesome. I'm going to just grab a quick sip of water. I've been talking a lot. We're going to go one more time through. All right. So making sure we're good in the comments. Yes, we are. Okay, one more time. Here we go. Inhale. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Mountain pose. Take a breath. Inhale, exhale. All right, inhale, arms up overhead. Fingers interlaced, release your index finger. Bend to the right, engage your core here. Move with stability. Inhale through center. Exhale, right foot steps wide. Goddess pose. Good. We're going to inhale for our star pose, toes forward, arms up overhead. And then exhale, pivot your right toes to the back, triangle pose. Nice job. With your inhale breath, sweep the left arm forward, left hip, left foot come forward, setting up for pyramid. Exhale, lower down for your pyramid pose. Good. With your inhale, step your left foot back, finding your low lunge. Stay for the exhale. Okay, with your next breath, we're going to pivot all 10 toes towards the long side of the mat as we come into Skandasana. Yes, my little lawn ornament is staying nice and put here. With your next breath, we're going to bring the left foot in, Malasana. Good, sink down nice and low. Stay for another round of breathing at our halfway point. Okay, with your next breath, your left foot stays where it is. Now it's the right foot that extends long for your low or mid Skandasana low lunge. Then we're going to pivot to the front of the mat for our low lunge. Good. And then with your next breath, we're going to bump our back right foot up and in for our pyramid stretch. Lengthen your spine, inhale. Exhale, stay in pyramid. And then with your next breath, rearrange the legs, finding triangle pose. Good. So it takes a little getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, you're like, okay, now I know where my back foot needs to go for this next transition. From triangle, we're going to lift into star. So come on up, pivot your left toes to face the long edge of the mat. And then with your exhale breath, bend your knees, heels and toes out for goddess. Very nice. And then with your next breath, here comes our big move. Toes forward, right foot steps to meet the left, arms up overhead. Inhale, exhale, side bend left. Good. Inhale, arms up through center, and exhale, hands through heart. Deep inhale, deep exhale, and arms come down by your side. So good. Take a deep inhale breath. Take a deep exhale breath. Stay here another round, just a little standing Shavasana. Good.